Hello and welcome to the garden. Well, today I'm going to get my leeks in and I'm pretty happy with these plants. Usually I sow these in a tray and then I will prick them out, space them out nicely in another tray, but this time I used some of these cells instead, and they're reasonably deep, reasonably large cells, and I thought I'd give them a try this year, see how the leeks like it. I can't complain. These are pretty good leek plants. I think they're at least sort of pencil size. Some of them are a little bit stockier than that. I've got 3 of these trays, so I can be quite choosy, just pick the best specimens, not just for the width but the height. These are looking quite nice. It's going to be a slightly different job today. I'm not sure how these are going to go in the holes. Normally what I do is just tease apart the roots, give the roots a little trim, probably trim the top growth as well, drop it down in the hole. I plant in the traditional way, so I make a nice deep hole first so I get a good blanch on the leeks and give them a bit of a trim up, and in they go. These of course will come out with plugs of soil, so I've got a bucket of water here where I can swish that off if I need to, but we'll have to see how that goes. So as usual, I've got my trusty plank. On this side I've got 6-inch marking, so that will do nicely. I'm just winding this in until that yellow tape marker on the dibber disappears. That's a pretty good length of blanch. What have I got there? It's about 8 inches on the blanch. That 6 inches is probably enough, but 8 is fine. I like a nice length of the white stem, it's good. Twisting as I go in and out there because it tends to stop the soil falling down. Everything's awkward of course here because of the frame for the netting. Ooh. So this bed at the other end has some parsnip and carrot. Had rubbish germination on that, but that's what's at the other end. Up this end it's had some compost and some fish blood and bone, so it's been nicely prepared for the leeks. But I'm keeping this frame in place, and I will cover this with mesh, or at least let's say put the mesh back on, because of course I cover the parsnips and carrots to keep the root fly away, but that mesh will also serve to keep the leaf miner away from the leeks, and that's not a pest we've ever had a problem with here. I don't think we've ever had leaf miner on this site, but it's increasingly widespread, and it's inevitable, I think, that at some point we will also get the leaf miner here. And since I've got half a bed unused at the moment with mesh ready to go, I might as well use it. Right, let's have a look at these plants, see how it goes. So these I think are far too big to just drop down the hole. Yes, they are. That's not going to work. Let me just try washing that off. Oh, hello, that's really effective. Oh, I'm very happy with that. So I'll just give that a quick trim a little bit of that excess root away, and I can drop that down. A little twist as you go down helps the roots get down. You don't want to push the roots up as you push it down, but a little twist as you go down, that keeps the roots in good order. And off with its head. Job done. Now they've produced a lot of root, and once again these cell trays are really nice. These are container-wise trays, and they have designed those very nicely, and they produce absolutely fantastic roots. And I think I will be using this method again next time I grow leeks, because, hang on, that didn't go down quite well. Let's have another go. That's better. Because I think, if anything, these are better plants than I often end up pricking out of the trays. So, yeah, these are just great bits of root there. It's not too much trouble just to swish off the soil. Lovely, good, strong roots. Just trim a little bit away. Now, leeks do transplant ever so easily. All of the alliums do, really. They will get new roots down very quickly. But I think these are some of the nicest leek seedlings I've produced, and I'm putting that down to the slightly different method this year. I could have transplanted these into the bed here, let's say a week or two ago, but it's no problem putting them in now. They're in fine condition. There's no yellowing of the leaves here. Yeah, that is ideal. Of course, underneath these have been nicely air pruned for the most part, so I'm expecting these to establish really well. Now I just want to water till that hole is completely filled. That will wash a little bit of soil down around those roots, water them in nicely, and that is that. You don't need to fill those holes in. In fact, you don't want to fill those holes in. The leek stems can now nicely expand as they grow, and hopefully get some decent plants with a nice long length of branch on. I don't know how many I'm going to get in here, but I will probably space those about 6 inches each way, I think. And yeah, keep me busy for a few minutes. The variety is Musselburgh. I mean, that's a real classic. Always gives us good results. Sometimes we grow other varieties just for a change, but this is the one we always return to. We had an unexpected storm blow through partway through that, so the ground has actually had a nice watering, and it's really helpful here because our soil is so sandy that it does drain very quickly. So anyway, I've now got that all planted up. Let me show you the job. So this half bed is now filled with leeks. They are very close together, but I think they'll be happy enough in there, and all of those plants looked really good. The roots on all of those were very nice, easy to put in, and they swished off well enough in that bucket of water. Well, I did think I would have some spares and I could be a bit picky with the plants, but actually all 3 trays have gone in, so 84 plants in total. And that's because I've got them at a very close spacing. So 6 inches is as close as I would ever want to go with the leeks. Now, I know some people multi-sow leeks, and that's fine. They're obviously growing quite close together. And you can plant them out close together like I've done here. More often than not, I would go for maybe 8 inches, perhaps as much as 10. You can set them out further apart, of course, if you're after really chunky stems. So it's possible I might only get smaller leeks from these. Time will tell, and it'd be interesting to look later in the year and see how they're doing. But I think in these sorts of narrow beds where they're quite well maintained, they have plenty of organic matter goes on, and the soil's looked after, you can plant fairly close together in those with success. So anyway, I've put them in quite close together and we'll see what happens. But that is all for this video. Thanks ever so much for watching, and bye for now.